Welcome back. Well, let's shift our focus now to the Jewish faith. On National Day of Prayer, we're joined via Skype by the Chief Rabbi Warren Goldstein. Chief Rabbi, thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you. Wonderful to be with you and all of your viewers.
It is such an important day, isn't it? Be it spiritual, be it religious, we're all fighting this common enemy as South Africans. I guess in a way it's uniting us more than ever. What's your message on National Day of Prayer?
I think that it's a day, in a sense, that as South Africans we need to come together in unity, and I think that's so important. It's not only as South Africans; every human being in the world is dealing with the same challenge. But it's also a day that we draw on the depth of our faith. And for me, one of the most positive and wonderful things about South Africa is that the vast majority of South Africans are people of faith and connection to God. And we need to draw deep on that and to pray. And in a certain sense, every day should be a national prayer day. Of course, today is important in the fact that we're rallying, and I want to commend the President on calling this National Prayer Day, and to commend the President for his leadership overall throughout this crisis. But really to call then on every South African to make every day National Prayer Day. We need to pray to God each and every single day to ask for his blessings for the health and healing of our country and indeed our world.
We are in a crisis, Chief Rabbi. I mean, it requires us to dig deep and stand firm in order to overcome this crisis. It requires compassion. There are noble values in every religion and every faith. Have you seen that come to the fore over the last couple of months as we deal with COVID-19?
Yes, I've seen, and we all have seen and witnessed the incredible heroism of our people, of all South Africans, because the last more than 2 months of lockdown have imposed, and which was needed for the country, but have imposed tremendous hardship from a financial point of view on millions of South Africans, and have interrupted the school studies of millions of children. And for millions of children, it's not only school studies which are interrupted, but it's access to the only nutritious meal of the day. And so all of the measures that have had to have been undertaken in order to protect the life and the health and the well-being of every South African have imposed tremendous hardship. And our people have rallied with great faith and with great heroism. And for me, that has always been the remarkable dimension of South Africa, is the heroism of our people who are able to overcome such tremendous odds. We have in this country overcome such incredible challenges and have done so with grace and with heroism and with real courage and bravery. And we are seeing that evidenced once again.
Places of worship will be allowed to resume their services under level 3. Are you for or against it?
I think that it's so important, and it's something that all religious leaders, when we met with the President on a Zoom meeting, it was across the board that religious leaders asked for the President to allow people to resume prayer in a communal setting. The most important imperative at a time like this is that it only be undertaken by those places of worship that can absolutely guarantee the strictest adherence to the government regulations on a sustainable basis. That means not for 1 day or 2 days, and not for 1 week or 2 weeks, but for the months ahead. And that means every religious leader who opens a place of worship has to realize that it is a decision of life and death, which means that it means assuming responsibility to ensure that those regulations can be adhered to the letter of the law and then beyond. And that is not just a legal obligation in terms of the laws of the state. It is a religious obligation, because the Bible teaches in the book of Deuteronomy, it says, do not put blood on your home. And it's referring to having a situation at home which is not safe for people. And so if places of worship do not adhere to the government regulations, then they are places of danger, and those who conduct services without adherence to these government regulations have blood on their hands, because it endangers people. And worshippers themselves need to take responsibility. If a worshipper arrives at a place of worship and sees that people are not wearing masks, and that there isn't the social distancing, and that there isn't hand sanitization, and that there isn't any kind of screening process to enter the place of worship, or that there are more than 50 people, or it's a crowded area, then the worshipper has a religious duty to leave that place of worship. You can't worship in a place that is dangerous. And so it is really about religious adherence to these regulations for places of worship in a way that there is no room for compromise, not even one day, not even one moment. It's a sacred religious obligation to do so. And if a religious leader feels that his or her place of worship cannot adhere or cannot guarantee adherence to these government regulations, then they should not open at all. Need to be a vigilance and a sense of religious responsibility here and country responsibility to ensure the safety of places of worship.
We're fast approaching the top of the hour, so I need to get our viewers the headlines, but I want to try to squeeze in one more question with you, Chief Rabbi. A lot of people in South Africa are hurting. They've lost a lot of loved ones, and we keep on, airing these numbers, reading out these numbers every day as it changes almost every day. But we can't allow ourselves to forget that there are people behind these numbers. It can't be an abstract. A lot of precious lives have been lost in South Africa due to COVID-19 related complications. What is your message to those people who are hurting today?
I think the message is this. It is what the Talmud says. To save one life is to save a world, and to lose one life is to lose a world. For every person who has lost a loved one, that is an entire world that has been lost. And we need to defend the sanctity and the preciousness of human life. To save a life is to save a world, and every life is an entire world to each and every single one of us.
All right, Chief Rabbi Warren Goldstein, we thank you very much indeed for your time, sir. Have a blessed day. Be well.